Everybody, and a warm, very warm welcome back to the JN Sports Complex here in New Delhi. Over the next hour and a half or so, a women's singles semi-final. Reigning gold medalist in the women's singles for Malaysia, Ahmad, and the top English bowler Natalie Melmore on green 2 and 7. It is semi-finals afternoon on an adjoining rink. The other will be taking place. We'll be able to keep you updated on that, and that is between Australia and Val Smith of New Zealand. Here are the weather conditions. It's 30 degrees Celsius. The humidity is 50%, and it is getting a little bit blustery. That may have a slight effect out there during of this match noon. So a lot of excitement ahead of us here. Of course, the England team already flying high after their women's gold medal the other night. Malaysia so strong in and in Siti Zalina Ahmad. They have just about the leading women's bowler in the world, winner of the last 2 gold medals, and this is surely the biggest match ever for young Natalie Melmore. Here's the routes with the finals: Malaysia, Australia and New Zealand, and they will play in the women's singles final a little bit later on today. The winners to go through to that final, and that'll take place local time here in New Delhi at around 4 o'clock. Just a little bit blustery. Now and again we get a strong gust of wind across the rink here in New Delhi. About the hottest time of the day, difficult conditions, and the players today in these singles events, well, if they get all the way through to, they're going to be playing 3 today. These girls have already been out this morning, or Natalie Melmore has. Siti Zalina Ahmad has got straight through to the semi-final. Final playoffs earlier on today, and so that may be an advantage to the Malaysian having one less match to go. Here, winner of the gold medal at Manchester in 2002 and at Melbourne in 2006. She has played 10 matches in this women's singles, and she has won all 10. She is a really very deliberate, very accurate, and she's proving almost impossible to beat at this Commonwealth Games. So that is Siti Zalina Ahmad, the representative of Malaysia, and was the strong favourite to win the gold medal again before the competition began. And up against Siti Zalina is the English bowler Natalie Melmore. And it was quite a bold shout by the England selectors to throw Natalie in here. 21 years old, she's the England, but she's just tremendous progress. But ahead of her in the next few minutes and over the next course of the half or so that it'll take to complete this match, it's probably the biggest bowls match of her life. Our marker, Catherine Kinnear, shortly will be underway. There goes the siren. Joining me in the commentary box, as ever. What about this then, Mike?
Yeah, this is going to be a great clash. Siti Zalina has not dropped a set in the tournament so far, and she finished top. A. Natalie Melmore finished second in Section B. This is massive.
And so, this women's singles semi-final getting underway, and it's Zalina Ahmad of Malaysia who throws down the jack.
110, no defeats, of course, plus 1 shot differential. Yesterday, she beat Lebo Mascarenas of Botswana 9-5-7-6, Carmen Anderson of Norfolk Island 11-1-8-6, and Josephine Lee of Canada 15-9-8.
Is 31 years old, a bronze medal back in 1998 in the 4s at the Kuala Lumpur Commonwealth Games when aged just 15.
Natalie Milmore. Had split results yesterday. Hina Roriti of Newey, she beat 13-6, 11-4. Then she lost to Kelsey Cottrell from Australia, who finished first in Section B. And that was a very good match, 9-5, 11-6. And then she defeated Susan Kariuki 6-7, 10-5, 2-1. She had a great clash also with Kelsey Cottrell in the sectional play. And Kelsey Cottrell is playing Val Smith from New Zealand in the rink next to us in the other semi-final. A loose opener, maybe a little bit of nerves. Ziddy Zelina's first match today. Natalie came through the playoff, or effectively the quarterfinals, in flying colours this morning.
Just possible that there's a bit of a score to be settled here. Of course, it was Malaysia who were beaten by the women's pairs England team the other evening for the gold medal game.
And they're sitting in just in front of us, the gold medalists, Ellen Faulkner and Amy Monkhouse, looking no worse for wear, so I don't think they've been on the champagne trail too much. Now she's starting to get on the pace. That's a shot.
So Natalie Milmore playing with mauve coloured balls here. Ziddy Zelina Ahmed with the blue. Was that excellent move by the champion?
Yeah, she was pretty pleased with that. I think there's a few nerves in Ziddy Zelina at the moment. She is a very... everything she does is kept. She will normally go up to the end after the third bowl, but she normally very deliberately. That time there was a bit of a spring in her step, so it's a huge game. I don't know whether in history anyone has gone back to in the Commonwealth Games as far as a gold medal.
Recognition of her status. She was the Malaysian flag bearer at the opening ceremony for these games.
Well, this has given Natalie a little bit of a chance here, because those three bowls to the right of your screen there, right of the jack, a couple of those very, very loose deliveries from the defending champ. Just shaking out the cobwebs. Different to sectional play too, Simon, if one player has an insurmountable lead at the end of the end, they won't play the or two. And we saw that in the men's quarter. Australia's Leif Selby led Ali Forsyth from New Zealand 13-1 with 3 ends to play, and they didn't play them. She's going to pick this up. This is going to be a... Oh yes, great shot from the youngster.
Trails the jack through here, takes the jack beyond those blue bowls, and so that'll be one for Natalie Milmore at the end of the rink. Natalie Milmore plays out Bowls Club in Torquay, and that's was England's men's singles competitor Sam Tolchard, who is also a semi-finalist here in New Delhi. So they'll be really cheering these youngsters on down in Torquay. Now there are the women's, well, we've got on the Ellen Faulkner in the centre, Amy Monkhouse, the two girls on the left, the gold medalists in the women's pairs.
You were talking to Sandy yesterday. I believe she didn't mind a chat. She's listening to our commentary here, so Sandy, thank you very much for sharing your wisdom with us yesterday.
That's run through. That's run a long way through.
The winner, of course, goes through the gold medal game. The loser then has another match. They've got to back up and try and win the bronze. But there's a bit of a reply from Zidi Zelina. And take that turn right at the end there to be able to get inside that blue bowl of Ahmed.
They're almost equal, just a little bit closer. Just wait.
She's not happy with herself at the moment. I just look at the expressions down the end. I think she's really feeling the pressure here. She's just not getting the line right. The preliminary matches, she's been spot on right from the outset.
Just slightly under the line, the weight as well, but wasn't bad.
Straight for a little while as well, but it's in there, and you would, yeah, it might be just outside the count. I think it's maybe 1-2. Maybe just try and draw onto that blue bowl and Zidi Zelina, the one that's holding the shot. I think she's narrow. She's not happy.
That's going to be at least one. And it is one, and so the scores are level after 2 ends.
A quarter pounder, cheese, beef, cheese, bun, hand. And on the end of that hand, man. Because you look like more of a man with a quarter pounder in your hand.
Actually lives in Newton Abbot, down in just about 8 or 9 miles, I suppose, something like that, from Torquay, where she plays. She was voted Women's Young Bowler of the Year in 2007 in Britain, and in 2009 the 25s Bowls Championship, and in August this year she won the English Championship. I think she's the youngest ever winner of that championship. So she's a really precocious talent.
Zidi Zelina actually went to see a hockey match, and there was a game of lawn bowls happening on the field next door to that particular hockey match in 1995, and she liked what she saw, and that's how she began her lawn bowls career. Doesn't like this one. In the end, it started to get. much in it. You would probably think Natalie Milmore might just hold shot, but there is very little in it.
Massive game this for young Natalie. Just give that ball. Didn't move it in the end, but that's probably taken the shot.
Yeah, lovely ball.
Oh, that's class. He just picked up the jack from the Malaysian contingent.
That's the skip of the Malaysian men's pairs. Just coming through, beautiful bowl. Now Natalie, a little bit of work to do now. She's just going down to survey the head. Each bowler has one bowl remaining in this end. There's Mary Price. And Gail Hunter is actually sitting down on rink side. Mary Price, the overall female manager of the English women's team. There's Gail Hunter. Possibly the backhand side, trying to draw around those two blue bowls. Needs to hold its line now. Needs to hold its line. It's ducking inside. And you would probably think Malaysia are holding a couple at the moment.
And deliberate in her preparation.
Same side, the backhand side, just trying to take a little, hoping a little dive right at the end to come in. I just don't know whether it's got in the count, but it's not going to be too far away, is it? So it's possible. In actual fact, the marker thinks it's 2. Just wait and see. Have a look. Picked up the jack.
And it is 2 to Malaysia. So that is 3-1.
And on the other women's semi-final, being rink 9, this is rink 7, between Kelsey Cottrell of Australia and Val Smith of New Zealand. After 3 ends, Val Smith leads 7 shots to 0.
Yes, very from now. Kansas City's Alina Ahmad reply. Lots of support here for the English girl. And one of the finest of English medalists in 1994, beaten by Richard Coursey in the final.
Oh, two great bowls from the youngster. This is three. If it gets up a little bit, it is. Very good. Holding three, the youngster. Them. She's not too. Just taken one out though, and her own bowl, even though it was a toucher, has gone out of the ring, so that'll be placed on the bank. And that one of Millwall is just having a look now, and they're saying that is in the field of play.
Where should she be looking to put this, Mike, to make it as hard as possible for City?
Just draw another shot. Just draw.
Well, she's gone long, hasn't she?
Yeah. Trying to match that back. You can see on the bottom of your screen there if City has another drive at it. She's two down. Drive at it. She runs the risk if the jack squirts out and goes out of bounds, then it'll be, and you would think that it would go to the right as you look at it there on your screen. The respawn probably England a couple of shots. Well, there'll be that blue ball at the bottom of your screen and the mauve ball at the extreme right of your screen. There isn't. No, that's the only. That's the other ones on the bank. So we'll just try and draw this. I think with a little bit of weight.
And if she can trail the jack, she might only get two. It's a little bit under the line, possibly.
Well, don't give up on it yet. You can give up on it now. Well, it rolled, but probably not enough. So you would think that might be a cover to England. One. No, she's only so.
Well. Well, it might have been worth a measure for the second there, but they've agreed on.
Yeah, they can see, they stand over the top of the bowls and they can see quite clearly. That we've said a few times, Simon, as we have a look at the scoreline, 3-2. Aren't exactly over the top from time to time. With these blustery conditions, it makes it a little bit hard for our overhead camera to zoom right in there too, so it can give that little bit of a distorted view. But they knew straight away it was one, so we'll take their word for it. But good bowling by Natalie Millwall.
When we were previewing this game a little earlier on, I mentioned that City's Alina Ahmad has won all 10 of her matches. I forgot also to mention that she actually hasn't dropped a set yet. So, oh, you did mention that.
I just
you slipped that in. You slipped that in when I wasn't listening. And Natalie Melmore, in her section, she actually finished second to Kelsey Cottrell. She played 9-1-7. And Natalie was actually beaten by Kelsey Cottrell.
Yeah, Cottrell won all 9 of her matches, and you might wonder why. There were 10 matches in Section A, and Section B, well, Section B had one less player. In short, much difference. It was plus 93 to Kelsey Cottrell, plus 76 to Natalie Moore. With those couple of losses, kept her in a second position, but she was still 2 matches clear of difference from Wales. So clearly through to the Natalie wouldn't have been very happy with the first attempt at this particular. This is the fifth end of play, and that's way out to the left as she looks at it. That's a much better bowl, much better bowl. It's a great reply, isn't it? Great bowl.
Of the jack? It's half a ball in front of the jack. Half a ball. It's half a ball behind the jack, you should see. Okay? Half a ball.
There you went, Natalie Milmore just asking our umpire Catherine Kinnear as to exactly where the bowl lies in relation to the jack.
Needs to just turn.
Not a bad bowl in the scheme of things. Now here's Zitty Zelena on her slow walk up to the head after just to have a look at the situation. Where that, and there's part of the Malaysian having a if Zitty can't put one close, Natalie will have the chance then to draw that jack off to her two mauve bowls just below the jack in the middle of your screen.
Bowl of the end. She's already holding one shot here. It's the set. And it's another fine delivery there.
But she's provided an opportunity here. She really has provided an opportunity. Natalie now having a look as it comes in, just opens it up, gets the jack off the bowl. I think you'll find now that Natalie will go the forehand and try and promote the jack over to those two mauve bowls.
On the forehand. Now, one. Needs to turn more. So she's taken out one of the Malaysian shot bowls, but that's going to be one more for the defending champion. Just get the confirmation from Catherine Kinnear, the marker. And it is one, and so City's Matt leads 2 after 5 ends.
A disaster will affect us and the emergency services we take for granted. A flood or serious earthquake could easily stop an ambulance or a police car from reaching you. In a major disaster, hospitals will be stretched beyond capacity. If so, it'll be up to you to take care of your family. Make sure you're prepared before it happens. Visit getthrough.govt.nz to get ready now.
In particular in Scotland, where the first rules of bowling were drawn up. This isn't bad at all from Natalie Milmore. In the first ever British Empire Games in 1930, England took out every available gold, but the dominance has dropped off a little since then, though. David Bryant won 4 men's singles titles on the trot during the 60s and the 70s.
Well, there you are. You've answered my question, because I didn't know whether anyone had gone back to back to back. And David Bryant, 4 in a row.
He did win 4 in a row, but the slight difference is that there was a gap. He won 62, 70, 74, 78, but 3 singles in consecutive games, which would be repeated should City Zelina Ahmed again in the next few hours.
Well, Millmore really is taking it to. She trails by 2. They had 2 bowls to open.
Worth noting that City Zelina won the gold in the test event here in Delhi in April.
She was holding 2.
Clearly the conditions here in with Ahmed.
They're very similar to conditions on in Malaysia. It's got to hold its line, but it's looking good. Even if she can knock it down. She had brilliant ball from Natalie Millmore.
So now she sits 3.
Azuri was just trying to pick up the jack and take it back to her own bowl.
It's looking pretty good. It's very good indeed.
Don't know whether that's shot though.
The marker will form an opinion.
And I think she thinks that Natalie Millmore might hold shot at the moment. This is a wise move from the youngster to come up and have a look at their head. Now, if she can play under Zitty's bowl, she could hold 3. City Zelina has 1 more bowl remaining.
The marker signalling that it would probably be a measure.
Yeah, see, there's one right at the back too, which could count. I think she's on line. She doesn't want to spring the jack though.
No, she's wide.
And I think that may. Oh no, it's still there. You can still see it's up. Now, in the scheme of things, that's probably not a bad move, although she would have got that blue bowl out of there. Zitty will now be trying again to trail the jack through there to those 2 back bowls. There's Faulkner and Sandy Hazel on the right.
Move across to Amy
Monkhouse, phoning home.
Not sure who holds shot here. Final bowl on its way.
She's just trying to get through that gap.
It's just tremendous.
Wow, this is really tight. This is really tight. And I think that Christine Kinnear is fairly definite. That was 1. Gonna have a measure. It's called for the umpire.
So an important measure here. That was a terrific final bowl from City Zelina there. Just resting up against the British bowl to take the shot. Assuming that was shot. This is for the second.
Yes. Oh, once would have said that's the shot.
Ken Chapman, the umpire here.
only one.
It's only one. Second closest was the Natalie Milmore bowl. So it's 5-2. And again, Natalie is handed the mat with Elena preferring to bowl the last three of the end. Wind certainly getting up a little bit here. I'm sure Natalie Milmore will be used to that down in Torquay. Well, that was no great shakes.
A little bit of a wayward head at the moment. That's a bit better. That's up there. The umpire, Catherine Kinnear, just going the touch up. Pressure back on Milmore. Just stayed out there.
A little bit like the first one, since doing a bit of late work.
This is a big bowl. 2 shots here for Zudi Selena would almost, you'd think, put the first set out of reach, but she's not too far away this time. It's got to keep travelling. That's a good bowl.
It's done well.
A very good bowl.
Marker having a look at this, and no, she's the marker is suggesting that it would be subject to a measure as things stand at the moment.
Here we'll want to take that Natalie Milmore bowl out, either that or take the jack. That's what she was trying to do. She was just trying to nudge that out a little bit, but the damage has been cut, if not rescued by Natalie Milmore. She may even have shot here. They're going to have measure. So asking Catherine Kinnear to assist with the chop. And the reason for that is the position the bowls are sitting. Any slight movement or whatever, you could knock those bowls over. So they put the little chock in there so as not to disturb the bowl. When they're laying flat, that doesn't really matter. They don't put the chocks in, obviously.
Thank you.
Picks up the chocks. The end's been declared. We're waiting for... And there it is.
This one to Malaysia. City's Alina Ahmed takes one more step towards the end of this first set. It's 6-2.
Yes.
other women's semi-final, very, very close. Val Smith from New Zealand leading Kelsey Cottrell from Australia 8-6 after 7 ends.
And Natalie Milmore finds herself in the position that she must win.
And this is tracking pretty well, just needs a couple of extra rolls. It's going to get there. Fabulous ball, Milmore.
England's other singles player, Sam Tolchard, currently on rink 3, and he leads by 8-4 in the first set against Robert Wheel of Wales. So Tolchard is going well.
Robert Wheel won the silver medal in Melbourne in a magnificent game of lawn bowls. You'd had everything, including African black beetles. Natalie Milmore playing very well. She would love this one to get into the count or just get in front of that blue bowl. That'll do. She holds 3 at the moment. 2 goals from Sidi Selena, who won the gold in Melbourne. She beat Margaret Johnston of Northern Ireland in the first semi-final, 11-2, 8-4. And then she defeated Elizabeth Morgan of Wales 10-5, 9-5 in the gold medal game.
That's a good try, and reduces Milmore to just 1 shot.
Milmore would love to be able to take out that blue bowl. She played with a little bit of extra weight. To do that, will it turn enough? It's just missed. Now Ziddy's going to have a look here, because if she can spring the jack from the Natalie Milmore, those 2 blue bowls, and tuck the Milmore bowl in front of that blue bowl near the jack, she might have enough to wrap up this first set.
She only needs 1.
We can't quite see whether the jack is resting against the bowl. It looks very, very close. There it is. Yeah, very, very close. So any touch on that bowl you would think would spring the jack.
So this bowl will decide whether we head on into a 9th end in this first set.
Got to hold its line though, and it's just starting to. No, it's going to die away. So Milmore will get the shot.
She'll get 1. Still leaves her with a stick.
Race in for 100% winning deals. Be first to save an awesome $600 on this Westinghouse oven. And be quick for this compact Presario notebook at only $747. Winning deals at 100%.
Scotland our marker. And Natalie Milmore with everything to do in this final end. She trails by 3 in the final end of the first set. start. Nice line. A little bit more muscle power required. Yeah, just past Jack High. It needs to be up.
It's a good line.
When you need 3, it's just going to bowl. Now she's in a bit of strife. She's got 2 short of the Jack.
Yes, we've seen in this situation before, they've just got to get it past the Jack to have maximum opportunity when needing multiple shots. I'm sure C.T. Zelina was that impressed with this, so it's working round at the end. Oh, it did very well. Body language was not all that positive.
There it is. She got it. She tips it out and grabs the shot. But it's not going to be good enough for her at this stage. She only holds the 1 there. And here it is, just coming in. Gets us the bowl out. So there's the situation. Now each player has 1 bowl remaining, and from that shot there, those 2 blue bowls either side of the Jack, there'll be some ricochet shot to be able to take those both out of play. She needs 3 to draw the set.
Yeah,
you would think that's a very, very difficult task from here. And unfortunately, the Jack's not going to spring back from there.
Unless she can promote one of her own bowls. Now this is with a bit more weight here, looking to get through well. It's English bowls, it's not going to be enough, and in fact that is going to be the set. Siti Zelina Ahmed not going to play her last bowl.
And in the women's semi-final on the other rink, Val Smith from New Zealand has taken the first set over Kelsey Cottrell of Australia, 9 shots to 7.
Well, just waiting for the marker to give the information, but she hasn't done so.
Yeah, she indicated 2, Natalie Milmore. So the set will end up 6-5.
Meanwhile, Sam Tolchard has won the first set against Robert Wheel in the men's semi-final. So England up in 1 semi and down in another.
Siti Zelina grabbing that first set, but he wouldn't have said it was in convincing fashion. She won 5 of the 9 ends, which means Natalie won 4, so, and that's how tight it's been, 6-5. Very, very tactical game of lawn bowls, but a little bit of work to do now for the young Englishwoman. But she'll keep fighting, no doubt about that. Just again holding its line very well.
Yeah. Certainly takes more green this time. It's just coming up a bit short, and the marker signals it's 2 to Malaysia.
Yeah, she's switching to the backhand, just having another look at it.
The gap, 10 inches.
Oh, it just stayed out there for a few rolls, but turns Milmore's bowl over. That's not in the count though.
To work again.
They're a bit close to call it maybe shot bowl on that gum wrangler. It looks as though England might be holding 1. Don't know whether we can get our target over it. Bit of breeze, which is making our camera work a little bit difficult. Gee, it's tight, isn't it? Yeah, you would think Malaysia holding 1. Maybe. What did you think?
I thought it was England.
It's going to stay out. So Milmore with the golden opportunity.
Yeah, there's plenty of space there, isn't there? She's just struggled to get a bit the last couple of bowls.
Yeah, just draw to the backhand side. I think it'd be a preference, either that or she'll just try and, if she goes to forehand, just to play her own bowls and promote one of her own bowls. I think that's the aspect she's looking at doing.
She's on the forehand then.
I think she's overcooked it unless it's going to work late. It is starting to work late.
Well.
Can it get into the shot? That is a great the youngster.
Just run a little. Yes, it is Alina. Accepts it's the shot, and it's 2 to Natalie Milmore. Second set. An early lead for England here. So important there to get off the start.
Here, initially she picked up the jack and looked as though she was going to retain the mat. Then she had a chat to Gail Hunter, and Gail said, give the mat away, give it to Ziti Zelina, and this is the scenario you're seeing now. The Malaysian lady will, in their second end,
I think that's a good move. City Zelina is so effective on that in that last bowl situation.
And Nat bowled a couple of exceptional bowls with her last bowl when she's had. City really has put the mat up about a metre and a half and then bowled the jack almost to the full length. Nice line, just a little bit short on weight. Everything. It went left for a few rolls, then it started to go right again. A strong Malaysian contingent in here.
Of the task facing Natalie Melmore here is that City Zelina has now played 21 sets in this tournament and hasn't lost one yet.
Yeah, it's a big ask. And this way, she's an absolute machine. Everything is so methodical. The delivery is compact. There's nothing with the delivery. She has great touch.
Melmore having the edge here so far. This is a good line. What about the weight? And that's a very good bowl indeed. It's a wonderful bowl. This puts the pressure on the champion now in the early stages of this second.
So some work to do here. This is her last bowl of this end. She's going with a little bit of weight to disturb the head. She has the two best backwards. She's not far away. She's taken the jack into the ditch. Well, the jack stayed up. But what about Zelina? 3 down to 1.
Yes, that was a tremendous drive there. And Natalie's got one bowl left.
If we have a look just where down, but now there's, if we could just see the little red mark. That's the little red marker on the bank. That's where the bowl is. Now, what Natalie's got to do is draw that. You can see how close it is now, and she can't. Well, she could knock the jack into the ditch, but she'd have to sit on that other bowl. It's not far away. Is it holding its line? Can she get the jack? Can she knock it into the ditch? Oh, what a magnificent attempt! She's got the shot.
That's amazing.
That was such a difficult shot.
Shot of the tournament. It's just pulling up now. That was so difficult. Absolutely brilliant.
Look at that.
And she was pretty pumped as well.
What makes you think you're qualified for this job?
Oh! Stop punching me!
Not the fish. Not the...
Let me out!
Next.
Here it is, huh?
It's time, you gotta get in the groove. It's easy to just let your body move. I'm a love guru.
Always looks unruffled. This is a good goal. A fine opener. This isn't far away, it's just rolling on a little. This is a good line here, just falling a little under. The weight is not bad. And that is 2, according to the marker.
Well, City Selena under a little bit of pressure, possibly for the first time in the Commonwealth game. This is how you respond to pressure.
And now that gives Malaysia the shot. That held its line very well. It looked as though it was falling away a bit. This 2 is just dropping down the line a little.
Can she get a wick? Rain. She's promoted the rain to shot bowl, Simon.
Nothing from the marker this time. Could be pretty close, I would have thought, between the blue and the mauve bowl there, just to the right of the jack. Here's our target. It's mighty close.
Yeah, when you take, it just went off, but the line of the circle went through the centre of each bowl.
Yeah.
So
we don't argue with the target.
We tried too early and never got one right.
One bowl each remaining.
And she's trying to draw this. That's going to have to break a big way and late. And it's short.
Just getting a little bit of advice from the coach here.
What I think Natalie and Gail Hunter are looking at here is if they can take that bowl of City Zelunas out, but they wouldn't want to disturb the jack, because just back to the bottom of your screen now is that blue bowl. So that's a shot catcher if you move it too far. But if she can get that blue bowl out of there,
yep,
she could hold 3 or 4.
Big discussion taking place.
She leads by 3 shots to 0, as you can see on the scoreboard behind you. 2 ends of this second set after going down narrowly 6-5 in the first set.
Now, can the fight back continue?
It looks as though she's just trying to draw one in there.
Needs to turn, might get a deflection.
She's not happy with that.
The target suggested this was really close.
Never can have a measure.
This is a very sporting aspect of the game, right, when the players actually perform the measuring.
Yeah.
And occasionally when it's really looking close, they'll go for it. If they can't decide here, they will bring in the umpire.
In the match I had with City Zeluna in the first round, she was very reluctant to do any measuring at all. I think you just saw then Natalie asked her to do the measure again. Oh, it's gone to Malaysia. I think it's 1 red. That's how close it was.
Yes, it is. Next one to Malaysia.
Couldn't live more than 3 minutes from real coffee.
Love those wide open spaces.
In here as well as out there. It's hard to get to. Maybe why it's the best kept secret in town.
Don't tell anyone. The all-new Street Smart Mitsubishi, built for your city life.
Love that car.
Medal. The loser will have to back up at 4 o'clock to play for the bronze.
And in the other semi-final, continues to lead by 1 set to 0, 5-0 down in the second set against Kirsty Cottrell of Australia. Classic style. Perfect balance. Years between these two girls and a wealth of experience as well.
Yes, who knows? This might be the heir apparent.
Well, she's certainly justified the selection.
Yes, thanks.
As has Sam Tolchard as well. The changing faces of lawn bowls. 2 21-year-old singles players for England.
count. That wind seemed to really spring up there and just hold that out there for a fraction. She's only just going to promote that a little bit closer. But it prevents a little bit through those two bowls.
Yes, on that shot there, the wind is blowing from the right.
Yes. Starting to duck away now. Her best result here would be to sit on that bowl. If she could, just slides through and rolls the wrong way, I think.
And the marker advising a couple for Melmore. Players are going to walk and have a look at this.
Ziti Zelina will walk back, no eye contact whatsoever, looks directly down at the carpet. She comes back in a mind's eye, knows what she wants to play.
Comes.
Not far away.
It's just ducking in the Melmore bowl. It does. That inch is a little close. Has the Malaysia restricted it to one shot?
Well, Natalie Melmore's got one more bowl. She can put that back. Now she's got the option of coming on the forehand side and promoting her own bowl into there if she doesn't get through that gap. Or she can go the backhand and just draw into the gap between the two blue bowls. And that's the way she's going to go.
Good chance to extend her lead. On backhand. How's this looking? It's not a bad line. It's very good indeed. And a triple there from Natalie Melmore.
Couldn't play this any. Coming, dying in its run there perfectly. At least two, and that's all it will be. But it's a great start after 4 ends in this second set to Natalie Melmore. And she's jumped out to a lead now. She leads this second set, 5 shots to 1.
Now this time, the mat is being moved appreciably up the rink. Right, Ziti Zelina looking for a short end here. Be placed right on the tee.
Unfortunately has Gone into the ditch, so that'll be put on the bank. And that's just that change of end. Just a shorter map.
Yeah, so not too bad. Pulled up a little bit short.
Yeah, Millmore's gone to the backhand. That sense if she was on the forehand, you had the possibility of turning that over to the Malaysia. This is a good-looking bowl.
One blue. Sorry. Oh. One red.
Sort of confusion there from Catherine Kinnear. Malaysia hold one. She's gone the backhand. If she just happens to touch this jack, she could give the shot away. But she's just gone there. Oh, that's perfect bowling. Great bowling. It's got to pull up for her now. From Natalie Milmore. I don't know whether she's just overcooked. There is Amy Monkhouse and Sandy Hazel cheering her on. Still one to Malaysia.
Yes, that blue ball on the right there. A little bit closer.
Here it is again. She's just there and just sit on it. She's shifted the jack. But at this stage it looks as though it's one to Malaysia.
Only she caught the jack a little bit more flush.
Unrushed. Quarter of play gone.
We're 1:45 in the afternoon here, New Delhi time. Be about 9:15 a.m. back home in Torquay. And Natalie Milmore's clubmates. Hope you're all enjoying this. Oh, well, she's given it away. She has given it away, yes. So, here is a chance.
It'll be interesting here if we can just hold that shot there. If she takes that blue bowl out, too, I think she'll just try and draw the shot in, which is the safer option, and still sit a couple.
She can tip it over into the ditch. That blue ball could be very good indeed. Could be just gonna miss it.
Well, she was after it.
And it's just the one. It's one more clear, and that is 6-1 in this second set fight back. Well, in fairness to Natalie Milmore, she's won more ends than Siti Zelina Ahmed. In the course of the match so far, Natalie has won 4, 6, 8 ends, and Siti Zelina has won only 6.
The telling factor here for Siti Zelina, she's won that first set 6-5. That's a great start.
That's the important factor.
the other semi-final, they've played 6 ends. Val Smith from New Zealand won first set, and they played 6 ends in the second set, and Australia's Kelsey Cottrell leads 6-2. Very tight match, the second women's semi-final.
As is this now.
Of the delivery style of City Selena. Can she pick it up and take it? She right on it. A lovely smile too. A little bit of extra pace. She's either only going to take her own out. No, she's missed a lot. Straight through the gap.
Yes.
And what she's done there, she's actually asked permission from Catherine Kinnear whether she can go up to the head and have a look.
Yeah, she was also looking around at the coach as well. Unsure perhaps of how this next shot should be played. The ditch just beyond all those bowls, not very far.
She might just try and draw onto that and get that out of the way a bit. Just inside it would be perfect. No, she was going with a bit of weight. She was trying to dislodge that blue bowl and take it out, but it's just dropped into the ditch. Now, Ahmad has 1 bowl remaining. She will be looking at trying to take the Millmore bowl out. But she would need to do it and sit her bowl because Millmore has 1 bowl remaining. A little bit of on weight, and she's through the gap.
Selena had a couple of cracks there, played almost identical drive shots, wasn't able to get onto the Millmore bowl or the jack. So
automatically to the back end for this one. She doesn't want to nudge her own bowl and push the Malaysians bowl. She'd love nothing more than draw another one here. It's got to pull up now. Might just be the one.
Just the one.
Couldn't live more than 3 minutes from real coffee.
Love those wide open spaces.
In here as well as out there. It's hard to get to. Maybe why it's the best kept secret in town.
Don't tell anyone. The smart Mitsubishi ASX, built for your city life.
Love that car.
So crucial for both girls.
Yeah, let's see how they score here, but there are a few permutations. 3 ends remaining. Were Natalie Milmore to win this end by 2 shots, then City Zelina could only tie the set, though that would be enough.
She'd have to get a 4 and a 3 to do it though. If Milmore gets 2 shots on this end, that'll make it 9-1.
She'd have to
get a 4 and a 4.
She'd have to get a 4 and a 4. She'd have to score maximum to tie the set. If Milmore were to win this end with 3 shots, then that would be the end of the set.
But she's up against a true fighter who all of a sudden has put a couple in the mix.
A bit of a target there though. There's 2 blue bowls. Now this might be all right if it's got the pace.
Just needs to turn a bit now.
Oh, that was just ran through the gap there. It's a Super Bowl, Super Bowl. And it's still 1. This is close as well. It's in the mix, just fading away, but knocks forward that front bowl.
Just a 1. 1 down.
Backhand.
Yep. She's got that bowl on the right of the jack as she looks at it.
Got enough green here. I think she has.
It's not bad if it stays on the green. It has. It stayed on the green. Really good look at this. She's got 1 at the moment. She either needs to provide some cover or just try. I don't know how she would, unless she can play her own bowl onto the Milmore bowl and kick that out. One shot only helps the cause marginally for Malaysia. She's looking to get a multiple score somewhere. Now she has 3 bowls close. I think she's going to try to play onto her own bowl and try and kick that England. At the head.
She is.
And at the same time, what she was doing there, into there, and she knew if her bowl had gone on, that it was going to be in the mix to split up those 2 backwoods. Here it is. She's just coming in. She really could have nearly given the shot away. If she had hit that jack a little bit harder, she might have given 2 shots to England. Now from that blue bowl that's right on the jack, there might be enough gap there. If she can hit that with a little bit of force and hit it flush where it comes straight back. Shot. No, she's going to come the forehand and try and draw the jack back.
Needs to start turning. It's not going to turn enough. And so that's going to be 1-2 Malaysia. But it's still a healthy lead for Natalie Milmore.
Imagine your house paint subjected to years of New Zealand weather. Wattle Solar Guard's total protection technology blocks out harmful UV rays. And its toughened surface with our weather, resisting flaking, blistering and peeling. So in the real world, why trust anything else? Wattle Solar Guard, designed for New Zealand.
Has got the shot or shots.
Yes, she's looked perfectly comfortable in that last situation. And both these final ends are win ends for the champion.
If Milmore wins this end, that's the set over and we've got a tie break. And she's made a good start. Excellent start.
Exciting stage of the competition here at the JN Sports Complex. A lot of spectators glancing across at other rinks to see what's happening. Val Smith and Kelsey Cottrell having a right old battle next door to these two girls.
Yeah, that might be in the mix again. 2 to England. Cutting across the face again, Simon.
Yeah, she looks a bit out of touch this end. She'll have one more bowl. City's Alina Ahmed to try and stay in this set. As ever, she'll approach the head. Meanwhile, Natalie Milmore's third bowl is pretty good again. Could be holding 3 there.
Huge bowl here for Zidi Zelina Ahmed.
Well, she either makes it or she loses the... And Milmore still has one more.
Now, widen out a little bit. We've just got another shot, but if we just widen out a little bit more, I think you'll find that Malaysia have a bowl right at the base of the ditch.
Yes, there is one. There just is where the marcus and the marcus foot is.
Now, I think she'll be trying to trail the jack back to those 2 bowls.
So maybe a little bit of weight here. It's under
I think
the line.
It's narrow. That's the second set.
That's the set. whether she'll play the bowl, whether Ahmad will concede the set.
Yeah, I don't. She's not even going to bowl her final bowl. So for the first time in the Commonwealth Games in New Delhi in 2010, Ahmad has lost a set, and world youngster from England, Natalie Milmore. This will go to...
It's the Harvey Norman audiovisual sellout this weekend. Check out these amazing... Get the Panasonic 50-inch plasma TV and Panasonic home theater system, all for just $19.95. How about the sharp 32-inch LCD TV with Panasonic home theater system for only $888? Wow! 50-inch Full HD plasma TV with home theater system, all for just $2,444. All this and much more. Harvey Norman audiovisual sellout. Hurry, must end Monday.
Cumulative scores to count. Melmore won the last end, but they've had a toss-up for the tie-break.
Catherine Kinnear, our marker, looked as though that she certainly played before. Picked it up, checked the bias. Rolled Natalie Milmore's bowl back. Yeah. Looked a very, very nice bowl too. Milmore, that second set, winning 6 of the 9 ends. They did, well, 6 of the 8 ends, because they didn't play the last end, because hope for Siti Zelina Ahmad to do anything but just get a couple of shots closer, but she couldn't win the end or the set, so it was declared.
Oh, what a situation this is. It doesn't come much bigger than this in lawn bowls. Commonwealth Games semi-final tie-break. Meanwhile, over on rink 3, it's now 1 set all, Sam Tolchard and Robert Wheel in that men's semi-final. Siti Zelina Ahmad going for her 3rd gold medal at these Delhi Games, but being pushed all the way by Natalie Milmore. 2 very solid bowls from the Malaysian to start the tie-break.
This is holding its line pretty well.
Now it just dips away.
And the other women's semi-final between Kelsey Cottrell of Australia and Val Smith of New Zealand has also gone into a tie-break. Set all. Kelsey Cottrell set 8 shots to 4.
Oh, this is very good play now.
But that's a fair target area there. Through the middle with a bit of weight. Pick up the jack if she can.
Can she pick it up? It's
She's
just
not too
running.
far away. Absolutely sensational for the youngster. One up.
Well, what about that? Zelina's only got 1 bowl.
She must be wondering what she has to do, because every time she's laid a platform, Milmore has had an answer. now trying to do the same, taking out the Millmore bowl.
It's narrow. That misses the lot of them. Now she just has to be a bit careful here.
You'd be tempted not to play this.
It's a delicate one. Danger lurks on either side if she just plays a little.
What you can look at here, Simon, is if she can knock City Zelina's bowl on that blue bowl on the right-hand side, if she can just knock that past and on that, she'll hold 2.
She's too narrow to do that, I think.
Yeah, it's run out of legs.
It wasn't the most committed effort under those circumstances. You can blame her. It's 1.
Yes, you can't blame her there. It would have been a serious case of nervous elbow, but she's got the that she needed in the tie-break, and she now leads 1-0.
Now, Constable Gail Hunter here.
Well, in actual fact, City Zelina Ahmad has gone off for a comfort stop now. We don't know whether it's a specific comfort stop or she just needs to break up this rhythm of Natalie Millmore. We've discussed this during the Commonwealth Games on a couple of occasions where a player has disappeared for a few moments and whatever the case, and then come back and bowl brilliantly, upsetting the rhythm of her opponent. So, you know, any accusations whatsoever, but City Zelina is being outplayed at the moment by the 21-year-old from England, from the Torquay Bowls Club, the same Bowls Club as Sam Tolchard. This could be a moment that we reflect on later on.
Well, at the very least, you have to say that the timing.
As a responsible broadcaster, Sky codes of broadcasting practice. This guide is available to all viewers and contains information on the codes and the formal complaints process. For a copy of the guide, write to the Broadcasting Standards Authority, Box 9213, or phone them on 0800 366 996. Email the Broadcasting Standards at this address or visit their website.
Jamie Lee Winch on the Sandy Hazel, Ellen Faulkner, Amy Monkhouse, the 2 ladies on the left, gold medalists. There they are, giving us a big wave. Come on, girls.
Hello,
Sandy's in there, Bron and Jamie Lee as well.
And Tony Alcock on the right, just
we wonder whether they got into the champagne after they were winning their gold. Didn't. See, they're finely tuned athletes. That, you know, that's next competition. Not much. I bet you they were seriously into it. So we have a little break here as City Zelina has disappeared behind the grandstands. The breeze has picked up a little bit. And we have a little bit of a break here.
Are there any time limits on this sort of break, Mike, that you know of? I mean,
I don't. Not that I'm aware of. And Natalie Millmore just now sitting, waiting. A reassuring rub on the shoulder from Gail Hunter.
Ask the question, Mike, and the limit that any player can leave the rink is 10 minutes.
Here she comes now. She's just coming back, and her coach is with her, Major Azizan, and we're about to resume hostilities. Now the man leaning on the advertising hoardings there as we pan around, and on the other side of that umbrella on the extreme left of your screen, Bill Foley is the competition manager. He's done a absolutely fantastic job. So we're about to restart. It'll be interesting to see whether Natalie can hold her composure here and how the defending gold medalist responds to this.
Milmore handing the mat to Ahmed. It's working well, bowling last.
First break to New Zealand in the other semi-final in the tie break against Kelsey Cottrell. Val Smith has grabbed a 3 on the first end. It's a huge haul for Val Smith. Here is Zelina Ahmed, second end of the tie break.
Try.
Well, on that evidence, you would suggest the break by Ziddy hasn't broken her focus.
Come on, Sam, you can do it!
And a very, very good reply from Zelina Ahmed.
Just to come round a bit.
It's not bad there.
Yeah, it could come into play. Wheel leading Sam Tolchard 3-0 in the tie-break in the men's singles semi-final across the rink.
Has it got the legs? To have a look at the position. Natalie Milmore trying to get blue bowl at the top of the jack. Can she get around? Can she slide underneath it? Very good effort, but it's opened it up a little bit for her. That's the position. This is the second end. Very close for shot.
Going to have a look at the target here. Hopefully.
And we can bring you the result. We might do that after this bowl. This is a critical bowl.
Out on the back end. Round plenty.
No, it's staying there. Now, Robert Wheel of Wales has the opportunity of going one Melbourne. He's won his way through to the gold medal playoff, defeating young Sam Tolchard 4-0 in the tiebreak. So Robert Wheel, who won silver to Kelvin Kirkhope of Australia, has the chance, and it's again an Australia v Wales battle. He'll play Leif Shelby.
Now, Natalie Milmore with her last bowl of this end. She might be holding shot, we're not absolutely sure. Has it got the legs? This will come down to a measure there.
And it is one for Natalie Melmore. And that is 2-0 in the tie-break.
Well, it really is important now. Zitty Zelina has to get a minimum of 2. If she gets 3, she'll win it. Natalie Melmore, all she's got to do is win the end. Easier said than done against Commonwealth Games gold medalist. 2 to send it. If Zitty Zelina gets 2, she'll send it into an extra end of tiebreak.
Being forced to fight like almost never before here, or not at least for 8 years or more. Not the greatest.
She's just got to hold her nerve here. Get one close to start with. That's tracking okay. Just sit on it if she can. That is a brilliant start to this third end of the tie-break.
Looking for a correction here. First bowl was well off. This time it's much closer, just running down the line slightly. Plenty of pace on it.
Yeah, England still holding.
Natalie Melmore within a few breaths of the final here. Just keep rolling. It's going to run up just past the jack, but inside the Malaysian bowl.
And both players coming down to, they both bowled 2 bowls. There's a supporter in the crowd, providing some cover. There'd be a lot better shot if he had his shirt on.
He might be suffering tomorrow.
In the other women's semi-final, Val Smith has a commanding lead. She leads 4 shots to 0, and this is the third end of the tie-break. So Kelsey Cottrell has got to get a maximum 4 to send it into an extra end.
Zitty Zelina taking plenty of time, slowing it down. She's low. She's low.
Now she's just past Jack High.
It was good weight, wasn't it? Might just have taken it there.
Yeah, it's very close, but she needs 2.
Marker Catherine Kinnear suggesting that would be a measure. This won't be too bad. This won't be too slow down a bit. Let's just run through.
Well, how important is this bowl for Zelina now? Natalie thinks she might be 1 down, and on that shot you would be the case. Now, City can't draw this. Knock one of Natalie's bowls out for second shot. Game over. You would just about think that if she's only, if she's down by one, she probably won't even bowl the last one. So not to be able to create any dramas there, bowling or grabbing the jack and putting it in a position where it would cost you an extra shot. So this is a massive bowl for Ahmad.
Going to turn. Again, it's running under the line.
Sure. She's got it.
It's going to go to Natalie Melmore. And Ahmed, the champion of these games. And Natalie Melmore from Torquay in Devon at 21 years is in the final. Intriguing match.
Very good game.
Melmore losing the first set, tenaciously to win the second, clearly, and wins the tie-break 2-1. Fully justifying her selection. Many congratulations, and it's been a good lawn bowls tournament for the gold in the women's pairs, and now a shot at gold in the women's singles. The other match still continuing.
Dad and brother all in that mix of the congratulatory hugs, and she will now play Val Smith from New Zealand as we have a look at some of the highlights of this. Natalie Melmore, 21 years of age, and there were some crucial moments of the match here. Zelina putting so much preparation here, and she really did do a great job, but then Natalie Melmore was able to respond in every facet. The first set went to Ziddy, but this was the she actually drew there. Ziddy Zelina had one in the ditch. There it is again. That was absolutely magnificent, and that was the second end of. She was able to go on and win that set 9-2, and then in the tie break, Simon, she was absolutely outstanding. She grabbed a one in the first end of the tie break. A one on the second end of the tie break. Ziddy Zelina was only able to come back with one. So for the first time in 3 Commonwealth games, there was the toss for the tie break. A magnificent bowl to give her that shot, and she was pretty pumped. And some of the winning gold medals, and there was the last bowl of the match where she'd got it. Grabbed the two, so you've got to give full marks to young Natalie Melmore. She'll play for the gold medal.
And she'll be playing against Val Smith. That match just being completed. The other it won't be easy. Val Smith, 45 years old, from Nelson, the most experienced member of the New Zealand women's team, and she has beaten Kelsey Cottrell on an adjoining rink. So once again, Natalie Melmore will go into as the lesser experienced, but by God, come through the rounds of this in tremendous style. Excellent form throughout the sectional play, and she had the there. You just knew when Ziddy Zelina Ahmed, she went out, she left the rink, she was ruffled, and in the end Natalie Melmore of England has come through and will take her chance in the final.
Hello and a very good afternoon to you. Welcome, sadly, on our final day here in Delhi for the Commonwealth Games, and the last day, of course, and the last evening of the lawn bowls events. The match we're about to bring you is the women's singles gold medal between England and New Zealand. Promises to be quite a tussle in the sun. Thankfully, the now as it has been. It is just after 4 o'clock now here in Delhi, and there's a good crowd gathering to watch the match. In perfect conditions, really. It's very hot, 33 degrees again. Humidity is quite high. The wind has been problematic today. Gusty at times, giving problems to players and media alike. It's settled down a little bit now, but it's a very perfect conditions, really. Perhaps a little too hot for some, but we shall see. Anyway, it looks like being very good for this particular match, which promises to be very good. So there we are. That's the main stadium away. Lawns complex, and England, New Zealand, Australia, Wales, those are the matches. Men's singles now, the man's singles tonight. Great matches in prospect to round off what's been a terrific Commonwealth Games. David Boban here saying welcome to Delhi. Sitting alongside me is David Corkill, and we have brought you, along with our fellow commentators, some delightful play. This is the route to the final for the two sides. Malaysia going down a very interesting match not long ago, and New Zealand through to the final having beaten Australia. So it's been these girls, they've got a very busy schedule, and they've now got to produce the goods in the gold medal match. And David, the prospect here between youth and experience and brilliant young talent up against established success.
Without a shadow of a doubt, it's one of those things where you're looking at someone who's come through a little bit of a surprise in terms of selection. My goodness, just justified her selection for England in the singles, getting through to the final.
She's been a delight, hasn't she? She's just a breath of fresh air.
Well, we've had a lot of young players, to be truthful. That's Val Smith. We've had a lot of young players, but Val just getting herself ready for this game, getting some protection on those lips. It's very hot out there. I've known Val for many years now, and I've a lot of time for her. She's a very, very accomplished player, and also very fit. Looks after herself as well. And she's in the section positions and come through to this final with some tough games. Marker Terry Crozier. All mic'd up and ready to go. Yes, we've had a lot of young in different events. You know, I think in many ways actually young players have brought it. Yes, but there's always been young players at the Commonwealth Games. Always. Here she comes, Natalie Milmore.
She's a lovely young lady, and she deserves full credit for what's been a terrific journey for her. There were a few tears at the end of her semi-final, but why not? She was so thrilled to get through, and I thought she behaved charmingly against an opponent who didn't give her much in any sense. And you know, the handshake was perfunctory at the end of the match. It was a slight shame, but there we go.
There's the horn that goes off. There's no time limit on this match. That's really just a starter. They'll let the matches progress at whatever pace they're at. We certainly don't expect it to last any more than 2 hours at the absolute maximum, but it's going to be a tight one. So off we go. Natalie Milmore from Devon in England. Her first Commonwealth Games. Well, it's almost a given. She's 21.
Plenty of fans watching this in the stadium at both ends. Some in the shade, some in the sun, but they will enjoy whatever. Natalie's from Newton Abbot in Devon. And a massive success already to reach the final of this event against some very, very good.
Yes, I've had many conversation with Gail Hunter about her and just what way she's come through in terms of the qualification process and elite squad training and everything else. And as we see Val Smith, it'll be interesting to see what balls Val's using. They're quite narrow, just the way they're drifting off. But it's really quite simple, David. They brought the young ones on. They put them up against the established members, more senior members, and they on form. That's just the way it's been, and I think that's exactly the right thing to do.
Rather than reputation.
Well, reputation sometimes can go before a player, and people do get selected on reputation because they say, well, they're a safe pair of hands and they'll have a chance of a medal and probably will get a medal. But the reality is that if they're not playing sufficiently well enough, then they shouldn't be here.
Exactly. That's a great way to do it. It's the way Australia has nearly always done their sport in whatever sport. It's your current form that counts, not the memories and the reputation.
Tidy game, as I would put it, between two players who will draw, play the occasional conversion shot and the occasional drive if required. Val, a very good driver, but then again from New Zealand you need to be, because some of the fast greens they play on. It's a draw-drive game. It certainly was when I played there, and Commonwealth Games in 1990 we played in Pakuranga, and it was screaming at 18 seconds, and it very much was a draw-drive game. Val just holding off a second because of the wind. She's hoping for just a little bit of a drop. Well, that is definitely picking about it. The problem with the wind is if you put it down on the line expecting the wind to hold it and it suddenly drops halfway along the green, you'll end up all over the place. It's a decent looking line with this one. It's all on the weight. Looking better, looking much better. Oh, that's a beauty.
Ball in front.
I should tell people that have tuned in that there's going to be a little bit of noise. We are in the commentary position up in the covered stand, of course, and in this heat that will be very well received by everyone that's here. As we see Natalie just dropping under. But of course we have players reporting their countries, and we've got a whole crowd of Kiwis right in front of our commentary position. So I'm under strict instructions to be nice to the New Zealander.
I'm sure you will be.
I wouldn't be anything else with Val. She's a very, very good player.
You'll be diplomatic and your usual neutral self. That's good. That's very good. Little smile of satisfaction for the New Zealander.
Yes, it's a good memory. Short-term memory needed when you put a good ball down to repeat the dose. That's a good start.
So there we go. It's 2 on the board for Val Smith, and she takes the first end. There's confirmation of that. 9 ends in this first set. Of course, there will be a second set and possibly a tiebreaker if required.
Stand the man in the hot seat, is it? Oh, good. All right, Stan, we haven't heard from you, mate. I was getting worried. We're in the bike for. Comment on our esteemed director. This is things way back for us. It's very subdued in the second game. Taking the red ball. First couple of ends, you want a fairly steady start to a major final. That's good. Don't want to lose too many shots, and you certainly don't want to be facing big issues either. Went short. No correction. Using the speckled balls, becoming very popular now. We have evolved from the black and the brown, of course. Steady stuff. We can get almost any colour you want.
The 21-year-old has made a good...
Red, white and blue. And black and white. Believe me, that is
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
For it.
It's coordinated. That's the way it should be.
We want more of that, please. Yeah.
Better weight with Val here. In with a chance in this one. Second ball is a target. Oh, back. Goodness me there. We'll get a look at what ball she's using, but is without a shadow of a doubt a straight line ball. No, that's roundabouts. Hasn't helped in terms of keeping out wide. I'm not sure if it's in. Our rings, just to see where we are. Well, that looks like it's just outside. It should be only just the 2.
But already it's better for Natalie than that opening end.
If you're looking at that little
see
blue
what damage
box.
Val Smith can do here.
That blue box in the back of Val Smith is a measure. A lot of players keep their measure just behind them, so it doesn't interfere in play.